So the fights on UFC 313 have been announced, with the main event of Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev and the co-main event of Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje. I'm going to talk about the main event first and then the co-main event, which is also 3 rounds, or 5 rounds. They're both going to be 5 rounds. 5 rounds, obviously, because it's a championship fight, and 5 rounds for this amazing fight of Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. Starting off with Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Who do I think is going to win? I think Alex Pereira is going to win. But let me speak on this fight for a little bit. This was the fight everyone knew was going to happen. I saw rumors of Alex Pereira going to fight Alexander Volkov in the heavyweight division, but obviously that's not going to happen. Come on, let's not be dumb around here. Obviously the next fight was going to be Magomed Ankalaev. Now, how do I see this fight going? I see Alex Pereira actually winning. Now, Magomed Ankalaev, I've watched his fights. He doesn't really go to the wrestling first. And you're going to tell me that he's going to go to the wrestling first on Alex Pereira? He might, honestly. You know, it would be the smart thing to do, but no one's ever done it. Jamal Hill didn't wrestle. Yuri Prochazka didn't wrestle. He wrestled a little bit. Jan Blachowicz, he wrestled to start. He started off with a takedown in the first round. That was very smart of him. But Magomed Ankalaev, you know, he could win. I see this fight being a 55 to 45 chance, which with Alex Pereira leading that 55%. I see Alex Pereira it's obviously going to be a knockout. If Alex Pereira is going to win, he's not going to win by decision. I believe he'll gas out from the wrestling, just like Jan Blachowicz did. Yeah, because the Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev fight was not in altitude. It was in normal altitude. And yeah, Magomed Ankalaev, he gets hit by low kicks, as you can see from the Jan Blachowicz fight. He did get a little better at checking them in the Alex Rakic fight. But, you know, Alex Pereira, the way he just throws his kicks, it's not the way everyone does it. There's no twerk in the hips. He just flips it out there with a lot of damage. So I see Alex Pereira getting this it has to be by a 2nd round KO or a 3rd round KO. I don't see him getting a 4th round or 5th round KO. If it goes to the 4th and 5th round, I think he has more of a chance of getting finished himself. So yeah, Alex Pereira by round 2 or 3, TKO or KO. So let's talk about Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. Who do I think is going to win that fight? Let me talk about the fight first. I see this fight going as Dan Hooker just being able to destroy Justin Gaethje. I'm not going to lie. I see Dan Hooker winning this fight. Justin Gaethje he's not who people make him out to seem. You know, people think he's like this big knockout artist, and he is a dog in the cage. He's amazing, you know. He has all heart. He won't give up on himself, and it's not going to be an easy fight for Dan Hooker. But Dan Hooker, he's good with his range. He's been improving. Justin Gaethje, he's not going to use his wrestling. Obviously, he said in past interviews that he gasses out from wrestling more than striking. He's not used to wrestling cardio. But Dan Hooker, I see him getting, it could be a decision fight, honestly. I see it possibly could be a decision fight. I don't know if I could really see Dan Hooker getting a finish in the early rounds, maybe in the later rounds, because I see Dan Hooker kneeing him to the body constantly, because the way Justin Gaethje strikes, man, he just wings his shots and just like leans in so much. I can see Dan Hooker intercepting him with a knee to the body multiple times and just breaking down Justin Gaethje. So I could see a 4th or 3rd round TKO. I don't know about a 5th round, but I would put my money probably on a 4th round TKO, honestly, for Dan Hooker. And those are the 2 fights. They're going to be on UFC 313. This fight card is looking all right with just those 2 fights. I don't know any other fights that are on that card, but it's definitely better than 312, which is the next pay-per-view, and it's shit. The only fights on that card are Drake Duplessis versus Sean Strickland and Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. And those are the only 2 championship fights. Other than that, there's not even a ranking fight. Not even one ranked fight on that card, which is pretty bad. But if you're hardcore, you know the rest of the fighters on that card. Justin Tafa, Tom Nolan, Cody Haddon's going to be fighting on that card against Toporia's brother. And yeah, it's going to be an all right card. I can see it being an underrated card with some good finishes. It's going to be in Australia. But yeah, man, that sucks because there's no UFC next week. And what the fuck am I going to do? I'm in the algorithm low key now. It's going to fuck me up because there's no UFC for 2 weeks. I'm going to have to make some videos. I'm going to have to think of some stuff because now I'm getting on a roll. So I'm going to have to think of some things.